CMT, Chartered Market Technician. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm almost sure that you are aware about what CMT is. It's a globally recognized, widely respected credential in the field of technical analysis. Now, almost on a daily or a weekly basis, lot of students actually, kind of ask me what are the career opportunities, job prospects after one does CMT in India. And it's very obvious because it's a very expensive program and you have to do a cost benefit analysis before you start and give your money, give your time, give your effort. Now, if you go and look into other YouTube videos or normal, kind of Google search or AI search these days, it will not give you a very, kind of a realistic picture. I am a CMT charter holder myself for almost 4.5 years now, more than that. And I have seen closely where are people who are doing CMT, getting the charter holder or even, kind of candidates for L2, L3, they are landing up for the jobs and all. And so I can give you a very honest picture around that. There is a disclosure that I run a mentorship program for technical analysts in India and even global, and CMT level 1 and level 2 are also part of that mentorship program. But this video is based on a very deep research you will not find anywhere else, because I have gone to the ground level and got into the profiles of people who have actually done that and where have they landed. This will give you a very clear picture, and I will also by the end of this video tell you that is this program right for you or not. It's not that it's right for everybody. Obviously, it will depend upon your objectives. Why do you want to actually, think about giving CMT? If it suits you, great. If it does not suit you, I will give you the alternatives as well. By the end of this video, if your 99% queries will be resolved. If not, if there's a 1%, kind of doubt or chance, there is a link in the description. You can fill a Google form and post your query over there. Any kind of detailed query can be there, your career objectives, what have you been doing. And within 24 to 48 hours, I or someone from my team will be responding to your question. One point over here is that in case you decide to, kind of eventually give CMT, 27th August is the last date for early bird registration. If you plan to do it, if you do registration early, you save almost 20,000 INR, converted US dollar, converted to INR. Okay, so life or jobs after CMT. This I've already told you, a lot of these kind of questions I get, and this is why I'm making this video today for you. But before we start, first let us understand what is the history or the timeline of the CMT Association, because this is very important to understand how the CMT Association in India currently today is. But this is the main thing, the box one which I have made. In 2018, CMT Association started its first overseas office from Mumbai, in Mumbai. And in 2021, within 3 years, Asia Pacific operations started to be, kind of headquartered in India. So Hong Kong, Singapore, and it became the hub. So what I want to tell you from this slide is that it's been just 8 years that, CMT Association has moved outside US. As a proper office. Obviously, there were charter holders before that as well, but proper office, and when you have an office, a dedicated office in a certain country, then that shows how serious, kind of an organization, not only CMT Association, but any organization you talk about is for that particular program. So you have to give that kind of a, kind of a pinch of salt that it's been only 8 years till now. But I want to show you the CMT Association in numbers globally. So there are almost 2,500 active CMT charter holders today, with 36 internationally active chapters. And if you look at India, now the point is that India is still, the active charter holders in India are less than 100. It's in just double digits. There are more than 100. Obviously, there might be somewhere around 250, 300 people who might have cleared CFA level 3, but they might have not taken the charter holder or they might not have renewed it. But as of today, the active charter holders is only 100. And that leaves a great opportunity and scope for people who want to start early. See, technical analysis, we all study. If you have been a technician, if you know how to read charts, it's all about the timing thing. And if you get into a stock, even normal, not technical analysis, but normal stock markets, if you get into a stock early, that is when you get to make the most of the profits, right? So awareness in India is still low compared with the CFA, if you're comparing it with CFA, that is. But what that actually means is that CMT is not yet a required credential in India the way the CFA is for most of the roles, not only for the buy side, but CFA today, a lot of recruiters ask for whether you are a CFA charter holder or not. It might not be an important credential to get a job, CFA I'm talking about, but right now what is happening is that CFA has become a kind of a differentiator and a compulsion. If I get similar profiles, if I get as a recruiter, I recruit a lot. So if I get five similar profiles, all of them have done MBAs, and there is one candidate who might be a CFA level 3 cleared or a charter holder, then automatically my mind gets wired in, kind of hiring him. Obviously, after the interviews and all, but that this guy actually, kind of gets the weightage in his CV. So, but the point is that CMT is still not yet crowded. Scarcity is the whole opportunity. And demand is being created by algo desk, quant teams, systematic funds, all of which need people who can read price, volume, and market structure, which CMT actually teaches you. Uh, but before moving ahead, this I've covered in one of the other videos as well. But it's a very important part that you need to understand. Why is technical analysis gaining traction in India now? Why now? So first is, see what has happened post COVID 2020, and you all will agree that there has been an explosion in retail accounts. This is a fact. There's no point of agreeing or disagreeing. But the agreeing part is that everybody wants instant gratification of everything, not only returns of everything. There's a lot of impatience in people today. And this is what has happened with returns also. Now people keep asking, oh, give me 20% returns in 3 months or for 50% in a year. Below that, I will be assuming or considering this as a, kind of a failed thing. Now, for the past 2 years, obviously the market has moved sideways, and a lot of these new people who have come into the market in 2020, 2021 are understanding that no, returns are not made like what it was since 2020 to 2024. So that has actually brought some sanity. But this is one thing which all of us are clear that people need faster returns. And then there is another point to that this as well. If you consider the SEBI's regulations for research analysts and registered investment advisors and all, they are like you cannot charge more than 1 year fees in advance, right? It used to be initially 6 months, but it has now moved to 1 year. The problem is that if I'm paying someone an RA or an RIA as a customer, if I'm paying someone a huge fees upfront for 1 year in advance, and if after 1 year he comes back to me and said, okay, give me renewal fees, and I say, boss, you have made minus 10% returns, and he will be like, I don't want to renew it because you have lost money. And you are like, boss, but the market was 20% down. I at least gave you 10% of outperformance. I gave minus 10%, which is 10% of outperformance. He's like, I don't care about that. Because not many people understand in India that how your benchmark returns versus your returns are, kind of lined up. So unfortunately, these RAs or RIAs also have to, kind of consistently, month on month, quarter on quarter, semi-annually, they have to keep showing that they have been doing great right from day one. And that timing part is something which only technical analysis will be able to help you. Fundamental analysis doesn't help on the timing part, right? You would agree with that. Second part is that there is availability of a lot of data now. Now, be it fundamental, be it technical, but more into technical, that you need a lot of data to actually find patterns, make algos, and do a lot of these kind of things, right? In India, the clean data has actually started coming only after 2000, right? So now we might have some to 25 years of clean data. And this will increase, this will continue to increase. But what my point is that it is gaining traction for the last 3, 4, 5 years, technical analysis, because now we are having clean data. We can see a lot of charts on a lot of brokers, trading view. And when you go back to a history of 15, 20, 25 years, seeing a clear chart pattern, then you can make more decisions, right? I'm not talking about visually or manually, but even for the back tested results and for, kind of people who are running algos and all. The third point is that there is a lot of influencers, programs like CMT, daily suggestions by a broker. If you open news channels like Z Business or CNBC Awaz and all, from 9 to 3:30, people will be keep on shouting, buy today this, buy, sell today this. So all these are like your, kind of intraday calls. Now, whatever the mechanism behind that is, I'm not getting into that. But the point is that they are not saying that buy this and hold it for 5 years or 3 years or something. It's a value stock, etc., etc. So these people are actually, fortunately, unfortunately, bringing in a lot of traction for, kind of timing the market. Then there is a use of technology and rise of algo quant trading. Nothing major to tell you, but use of technology. I'll tell you that first time when I started off my technical analysis journey in 2011, these trading views and all these things, they were there, but very expensive, and we were not aware about that. So there used to be something called J charts. .in that we used to use, a lot of us who were practicing technical analysis, and it generally used to take 15 to 20 minutes or even more to just scan one chart. And today, after all this practice and with all the technology like trading view and everything with a fast speed, I can at least scan 100 charts in 1 hour, right? So that's the speed, and that's the kind of wide scope that you are getting these days. So it's all because of technology, right? And algo and quant trading has made markets more efficient and more liquid, etc., etc. So that's another point. And the biggest proof is that if you look into the NISM RA exam 15, RF NISM 15, now recently it has included technical analysis as a standalone chapter with a 15% weightage. 15% is a lot. There are almost around 15 chapters, 14 or 15 chapters, of which this standalone one technical analysis chapter is holding a 15% weightage. So you understand, even SEBI is somewhere, they are trying to say that, oh, technical analysis is important. And when SEBI themselves are saying, then you can definitely understand how the scope for this field in the future might be. And where have we seen this before? Is the history repeating itself? See, I gave CFA level 1 in 2010. This is when not many people had actually heard about what CFA is, right? So I took the early bet, and there were a lot of years. I mean, for the next 2 3 years, I heard a lot of recruiters say that, oh, we don't know what CFA is, and okay, we are just concerned about MBA or this and that. Have you done MBA? And I'm like, no, I've done CFA. And they're like, we don't know CFA. The point is that was back then, 15 years back. Now imagine CFA. Everybody knows what CFA is. So this is how the exponential growth in awareness about traction about CFA has become, right? But this is where CMT today is, and I personally think that CFA in 2010 is where what CMT in 2025 and 26 today is. But it will not take 10 to 15 years what CFA actually took, because there are a lot of things which I'll show you in the next slide. CMT might take at max 3 to 4 years to become that popular what CFA was, maybe, kind of is now basically. Now, why CMT's growth curve won't take 13 to 15 years, as I was saying, is because lot of things. Content creators are evangelizing it live, hiring is publicly visible, awareness cycles are compressed. Now, there are a lot of people on LinkedIn, they are posting that they are, kind of CMT charter holders. There are recruiters, and I know because I have been recruiting these people, that we need only CMT candidates or charter holders if the profile is relevant, that is. That was something which was missing in 2011, 2012, because LinkedIn, how many people used to use, right? We were still applying to jobs through naukri.com and all these kind of websites. But situation has changed, and this is why I think it would be an exponential. And it's not only CMT, it's every field today, kind of the thing which used to take 10 years, 20 years back is just taking 2 to 3 years to transform itself. And you all know about all this thing. One query on an AI platform will give you all the answers. And charter holders are actually hiring charter holders. So right now, the pool of hiring managers who understand what CMT actually signals is small. There are less than 100, as I said, or let's say less than 200 who are active plus inactive, and mostly made up of charter holders themselves. That's not a limitation, but it's a flywheel. Now understand this thing. Charter holder becomes a hiring manager. So I used to be a hiring manager in PhonePe's share.market. I hired CMT charter holders. And then in my current company, Webgen Classes, Capital Quill, both the companies, I have been hiring CMT and CFA charter holders. So when the charter holders are hiring charter holders, you can understand how the exponential curve actually grows. So this guy, charter holders, when he becomes a hiring manager, he hires and mentors CMT candidates. Those candidates become charter holders after 2 years, 3 years, and the cycle repeats and compounds. And because the community is so closely knit, that kind of charter holders generally prefer hiring CMT candidates and charter holders only. Now coming to the real part where the jobs actually are, right? So now listen to it very carefully. So 5 roles where CMT gives a real edge. So first, technical analysts or broking desk. This is one of the avenue where Kotak, ICICI Securities, Motilal, Axis, and all these kind of big broking firms, they run a research desk. So till now, there used to be an equity research desk, but most of them have started in the last 4 5 6 years a technical analyst, technical research desk as well. Even kind of older than 5 6 years. And then there the charter actually makes an application stand out. So that's a very, very obvious role which one can look forward to after becoming a CMT charter holder. And most of the people, the head of or the kind of people who are heading these desks are somewhere CMT charter holders as well. Second is equity research analyst with a technical overview. Now, not lot of companies, it's not necessary that they have a separate technical research desk, but they expect their fundamentalists who may be CFA charter holders or MBAs or CAs to have an edge, because I've already told you the instant gratification and all those things, that they want timing discipline to the buy decision, the rarest and most defensible combination in Indian research today. So for example, a CFA plus CMT charter holder is a very, very great edge, because you are covering your fundamentals in CFA and then the timing parts in CMT. So in case you are a CFA charter holder, I might also tell you that CFA charter holders, CFA Institute members actually get the first level exempted, which I actually got. I'll speak more about that in the later part. The third is derivatives and options trading desks. So prop firms, broker options desks, family offices who are hiring for structural knowledge of volatility and market structure. Level 2 and level 3 speak directly to this work, because the curriculum is exactly, kind of focusing a lot on derivatives and options trading desk over there. So just think about prop firms and family offices. There's a lot of scope over there as well. Fourth is portfolio management as a timing overlay. So PMS houses are also hiring people. So this is a buy side, not only PMS houses, but there can be mutual fund AMCs as well, AIFs as well. So all those buy side funds are actually also looking to hire technical analysts. So right now, see, I'll be very clear, they want technical analysts. That does not mean that they need CMT charter holders. So that's the reality which I wanted to, kind of just convey, which is very similar to 15 years back. People wanted someone like a CA or an MBA or, kind of masters in any business finance or something, as a fundamental analyst. But CFA is something which has come up recently. Now it's good that if you have CFA, then you stand a, kind of a higher chance to get into those kind of roles. And similar is the CMT thing. You have a 10 years of technical analyst experience, you don't have a CMT, you will be preferred. But now gradually, after 3 5 years, I think when I am, kind of looking at the CVs, then I would be very surely want to hire someone who has a CMT designation in his or her CV, because that solves half of my purpose. One thing also you need to understand, that everybody today can think that they know technical analysis. They say technical analysis is so simple. Just draw some 3 4 lines, look at MACD, look at RSI, and your job is done. Boss, this is not the point, and this is what you will learn in CMT. CMT is not that kind of a cakewalk, or technical analysis is not that kind of a cakewalk which people actually think. It's much deeper than that. When to buy is not like, okay, this crosses this and then you buy. No, it's not like that. It's too deep. And the charts and all only form 30 35% of the entire technical analysis. Right? There is 60 65% other things as well which you will learn in CMT. So that is where, kind of, if I see someone's CV that he says that I've been trading on my personal account for the last 10 years, I'm like, okay, how do I, kind of verify this? But if his CV also says that he is a CMT charter holder, oh, you are a CMT charter holder, maybe you would be, kind of managing that money. But to get that CMT credentials, you have already demonstrated some kind of, knowledge in the field of technical analysis. So I'll be more comfortable. And then obviously you can get into teaching, research, and content. So I did technical analysis for years now before getting into the research and the teaching and the content part now. But you can take an RA registration, you can take an RIA, kind of license, and then CMT plus RA gives you a very genuine credibility. So that something is also which you can think. And honestly speaking, this is one of the very important part of what people are actually doing. So now let's get into the real research part. So how this data was built? So I actually went on LinkedIn. I went to CMT Association's website, the directory, and I actually found almost around 130, 140 profiles from everywhere, right? And then I started scanning them one by one. And then I saw that what kind of relevance of these profiles have, how genuine are these, and then finally I actually ended up, kind of shortlisting 75 real profiles. So CMT charter holders and L3 candidates sourced through LinkedIn, drawn from people with a public professional footprint, CMT Association directory and elsewhere. And you should be aware that this is not a scientific survey. This is just 75 real profiles. But then in India, you already know that there are not many people. So obviously, not many people have updated on their LinkedIn also. Not many people would be, kind of, even in directory, I couldn't find a lot of, kind of names. So 75 is a good number, but not a great number. So this is just a directional press research pass, and not a statistically representative sample of every CMT in India. So take it with a pinch of salt. Anyways, you will get to learn what is hypothesis testing in the CFA and CMT, where you work with a small sample and then you try to project for the entire population. I'm not going into that hypothesis testing and all, but this will give you a very remarkable picture of everything. And then I have not used any names. So there's full transparency presented only in aggregate percentages. Individual privacy is respected throughout. Now, first cut, where charter holders are actually working. So 40% charter holders today are running their own setup. They have started their own research firm, they've started their own fund, they have been, kind of independent traders, prop desks. So they are running their own setup. They are founders or independent people like me. I am included in this 40%. Going out on your own isn't the exception at charter level. So almost 2 out of 5 charter holders are kind of running their own business, and I can honestly tell you with my experience, in case you are able to do that, it's the best thing you can do after taking a CMT charter, and I'll come to that a little later. Almost half of them, 49%, are actually employed at a firm, but at the next slide shows that's rarely the finish line either. So 49%, half of them are actually, kind of working for someone. They have jobs. 11% I couldn't get data, and you will see a lot of these kind of numbers where I'm not able to, kind of source real data, but 40 plus 49 is a good number to work with. Where are the employed ones actually land among those currently employed at a firm? 73% are currently working at well-known institutions, large broking houses, institutional research desks, names like Kotak Securities, Motilal, HDFC, Morgan Stanley, the MNC basically now. You are also having an MNC name over there. There's Angel One, there's Novama. So Novama is ex-Edelweiss where I was there. And this is where in 2018 I got to know that Novama, which was Edelweiss Wealth, actually had a technical research desk back in 2018. I don't know when it would have been started, but at least in 2018 there was there. And this is when and this was much before I even got to know what CMT was, right? And then Bajaj Finance. So these are some 7 companies where I found most of these 75 profiles who are working with some jobs. Some companies are actually working at. Motilal Oswal is one of the largest recruiters, 27% are working at smaller or niche firms, boutique research shop and all, but these 27% will eventually want to come to either the 73% or they would want to start their own shops, whatever. So this is just like a stepping stone rather than a destination. If you look at the city wise, where are charter holders based? So Mumbai dominates, and it is nothing surprising. 43% of people are actually based out of Mumbai. The 24%, the next one, is actually the other cities where Ahmedabad, Chandigarh, Kolkata, Indore, and beyond, often without ever relocating like me after leaving Mumbai, Bangalore, and all, I relocated to Indore, is the more interesting story for anybody not already in a metro. So don't think that if you clear CMT that you have to go elsewhere. There are a lot of, as I told you, boutique research firms or prop trading firms which are operating from a tier 2 city. There is a lot of demand in Indore for good CMT charter holders or even candidates. In case you are a level 2 or level 3 candidate and you are based out of Indore or nearby places, do reach out to me through comments or through elsewhere. Very happy to talk to you as well. So यहीं की यहीं recruitment चालू हो गया मेरा. So takeaway is that being outside Mumbai is not a disadvantage in this field. Actually, it may serve as an underserved territory. There are 3 observed career paths which actually people take, and I've observed from these 75 profiles. I'm not talking about something of my own. This is only based out of these 75 profile data. So one is someone goes from institutional to independent, which is most common senior level path, right? They have been working at some places and then, which is what I also did. I was a part of big companies and then I have started independently. The other thing is that career switcher. Now, a lot of people ask, okay, I'm an engineer, I'm doing something else. Can I do CMT and then move into technical analysis? Honestly speaking, very, very, very difficult. It's maybe there might be some profiles who would have, kind of appeared over here, but most of these career switchers, they were CAs or CFAs or else where something else, and then they went into technical analysis. But it's a real sizable minority. Right. And the third is hobbyist or professional. It's rare, but genuinely real. So there is less than 10 people out of these 75 who actually, kind of it was their hobby. They have been doing technical analysis for years. They just, kind of took charter. Then they took their RA licenses or RIA licenses and kind of start getting fund management or wealth management. See, if I go to some client today who understand technical analysis or understand what CMT is, he'll be very impressed if you have a CMT designation at your ahead of your name. But I'll come to that a little later again. Now there is a gender gap which is real. So I found out that there were only 5% women, which is only 4 out of 75 identifiable charter holders or the candidates in the sample were women. Now these days, you know that there is a lot of focus on women getting into the wealth management industry or the senior leadership. And I can seriously tell you, if you are a female and if you're watching this video, I mean, there's a great scope for you girls. So you need to definitely, kind of think about, if you are interested into charts and all these things, you should definitely. Now comes the real part. What is the salary expectation? Honestly, see, honestly, entry level 0 to 3 years, it might be somewhere around 4 to 10 lakhs. So I know people, and these are, I can say these might not be the numbers representing all 75 people, because I can't get the salaries of so many people from LinkedIn, right? But I know a lot of CMT charter holders, and I could, kind of talk to them and understand the salary levels. If you're a fresher, just give CMT level one, or you're a candidate, early charter holder, 4 to 5 lakh you can start off with, but then easily you can move to, kind of 5, 7, 10 lakhs, double easily हो रही है. Mid career, 3 to 7 years, 12 to 25 lakhs, charter holder or a CMT level 3 candidate as a senior technical analyst or a market strategist. So I'll be very honest, I'll tell you the numbers. I hired one CMT level 1 cleared back in 2024 in PhonePe, and I gave him a little above 12 lakhs salary. And today that guy might have almost made double of that, right? So within what? 2.5 years. So there's a lot of scope. There's a lot of scope, guys, if you are very good at it. That is what I'm trying to tell you. And if you are 7 years plus senior level, anywhere between 25 lakhs to 60 lakh to even a crore, can something, kind of, you can easily faith them. But it will take time. It will take time. So you have to build your entire career, you have to build your resume, and then you can reach to that level. Lead strategist, algo technical research head, or something like that. And this is the main thing, guys. The independent SEBI RA route is in the salary. If you're doing your own business, which is that 40%. So the above is obviously only going to be that 49% wala thing. But those who are doing it independently, it's actually uncapped. You can make whatever you want to. That depends upon your other skill set, how much clients you are getting, how much AUM you are, kind of able to amass. So उसके पे तो कोई कैप ही नहीं है. And अभी the industry is very very kind of thinly filled with the technical analyst having the CMT charter holder. So that's something very, kind of good to start with right now. Credentials buy you compressed trust. Now this is where I want to bring my own kind of experience into the picture. So if someone knows about what CFA is, right, and you, or what IM is, and you go to them and you tell them, introduce yourself to them and say that I'm from IIM Indore, I'm from I'm a CFA charter holder. Half the battle is won there only. You don't need to, kind of start selling your business. They would be like, यार MBA किया है, CFA है, so he would be making some sense only, right? If they know about CFA. And this is where CMT will also help. If they know about CMT, which I agree, a lot of people might not know about it, but if they know, then half the battle is won. In the first client meeting, especially if you're building your own wealth management or fund management practice, nobody has time to evaluate years of unlabeled track record. I've already told you when I was talking about when I was hiring people, right? Cold client outreach, if you are introducing yourself as a CMT charter holder, or a first meeting credibility, or LinkedIn bio positioning, media and press quotes, you have killed it, boss. Networking opportunities is something which is, kind of a very great added benefit of being a CMT charter holder. Association chapters are there, global community conferences, volunteer leader pipeline, etc., etc. Now the question is that should you pursue CMT? You should pursue CMT if there are a lot of things. I have made a video. You can see the video link in the top right corner over here. But let me tell you a couple of points. If you are thinking that immediately you will get a great job after doing CMT level 1, 2, 3, 9, it won't happen. You have to give it time. Only give if you believe that in 3 to 4 years it might become big. I personally believe it. Should you believe, great. If you don't believe, it's okay. But after 3, 5 years, when the supply increases, demand will also increase accordingly, like how CFA has happened. Then it always gives one an advantage of being an early mover advantage, right? If you are looking to do trading for yourself as a secondary source of income, then don't give CMT, right? You can just pick up books. There are a lot of books written on technical analysis. You just can just pick a book, if you are pick a book, if you are disciplined, you will understand what all things are being, kind of, and it's all about practice. So getting XYZ comma CMT in front of your name when you're doing your own trading, it is not going to help spending 1 lakh rupees per level, but if you want to start something of your own, great. And it's written is CMT is worth in 2026. It is going to be the same thing in 2027 and maybe 2028. But after that, I might have to change the video because now after 2028, the entire scenario might have changed. So do look at this video as well if you want a complete picture. It's a huge expensive, hugely expensive course. So you need to take your decision, kind of properly. There are three levels. Level one generally takes 40 to 100 hours. Level two takes 100 to 120 hours of practice, of studying practice. And then level three is actually 120 to 160 hours. So this will tell you all the basic principle, foundational principle. Level two will be application, and level three will be the work of an analyst. Basically, kind of the final practical thing. I would want to also give one suggestion over here that if you are not very sure about it, don't give level three. If you have given level one but are thinking if you need to give level two or not, level two you can give. It's simple. It's not difficult. It's simple. But you are in momentum because you have already given L1, so you can give L2. साथ साथ में हो जाएगा because most of the course is actually kind of similar but a little advanced. But then there is no point of giving L3 till the time you actually land up or make your mind that what objective you have for kind of after getting a CMT charter holder. But level 1 and 2 तो अब तुम लोग दे सकते हो. And before coming into this slide, my own route through the program, in case you are interested, if you are, kind of, if you have been in this video till now, I just want to tell one thing is that again, 27th August is the early bird discount which you can get. If you make up your mind, great. Kind of you can apply and you can ask any questions from me you have. And the other important thing is that don't take a very expensive coaching for it. You're already spending a lot of money. I have priced it very cheaper, and there's no need of kind of watching these 100 to 140 or 40 to 100 hours of videos. It's just one book, and then I have my own notes, and then there are 2,500 questions in my question bank. You need to practice a lot of questions. There's no need of kind of watching these 100 hours of videos. And what I have been doing is that you study on your own, and if you have any doubts, maybe in 10% or 20% of the course, I hold weekly or weekend classes, or not classes, weekend 1 hour to 2 hours problem solving or doubt solving classes. There you can ask your doubts, and I'm sure that not all the chapters you will have doubts. Wherever you have, you just attend that particular day's, kind of doubt solving class, and you are done. So in maybe half or maybe one fourth of the cost what other coaching might be taking, you are getting the output, the similar kind of an output. And the other thing is that there is a mentorship also included. So I don't just leave the hands of my students. So whosoever I have taught 10,000 plus students in the past, they'll agree to it that I continue to be with them, mentor them, all maybe all their career. So it's not like that if you're done over here, if you have passed, you are moving ahead, I'll leave you. No, the mentorship will be proper. I will also try to help you get placed also. Not guaranteeing, but I will try my best if you are good. My own route through the program. So in 2021, I actually set for CMT level 3 while working full time. This is very important. A lot of people actually, kind of quit their jobs and then they think that they want to focus on CMT. ऐसा नहीं है. You, along with your job, it is very simple to, kind of study. And kind of it's been 15 years that I've been in markets, so investment banking, wealth management, running money at scale before teaching any of it. And I started doing my technical analysis in 2011. So it's been more than 15 years I've been practicing that as well. Was a CFA charter holder back then when I, kind of started giving that. So I got level one exempted. If you are a CFA charter holder, you can get level one exempted. And I teach the way a practitioner actually thinks, not the way a textbook reads. So that is the benefit you can get because I also come with almost 12 to 15 years of practical experience as well. And I am a professor of technical analysis at IIM Indore. So I'm a visiting faculty there and other colleges, tier 1B schools as well. And everywhere it has been, kind of a more of a practitioner, less of a theoretical. And why CMT? Because there's the gap, there's a genuine gap. Indian CMT preparation was either generic or absent. So that gap is why this program exists at all. Right. So, in case you are interested, your journey starts here. You can go to webofgenclasses.com. The link is also in the description. You can enroll, you can look at the course, you can look at the material and everything. There are free resources as well. And in this YouTube also, I have put in a lot of, kind of videos. You'll understand my teaching style if you're new to my channel. And then you can decide on your own. Right. And just understand that CMT is not a magic credential, and no credential is actually neither CA nor MBA nor CFA. So you have to work towards it. Once your credential is there, you have to do a lot of mehnat after that as well. There are a lot of related videos you should watch on my YouTube channel to give you a more clarity. Questions are welcome. Leave them in the comments or in the Google form, as I already told. See you in the next video, and bye bye.